Recently, I had somebody who booked a consultation call and they wanted to essentially have a polite debate when I make the comment that aerobic training is healthier than anaerobic training. And I wanted to share some of the highlights of our conversation just to make sure that there is no confusion on what I mean when I make that comment. When you look at the idea that as the heart rate elevates within the human body, there's an increase in metabolic byproduct, essentially we refer to it as metabolic waste. The easiest illustration I can give you is think about an automobile. As you're stepping on the gas pedal, most everybody's pretty comfortable with the idea that the RPMs of the car is going up. That means the amount of exhaust going out the back of the car is going up. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of science here, so please be patient with yourself. As your body converts stored sugar, known as glycogen, as it gets converted into energy, you produce in the human body something known as free radicals. Now, that free radical production is extremely harmful for the human body. This is what we refer to as the element that creates premature aging. You've heard me say it prior before, and I'll reiterate it here today. It's the element that causes you to get the deep black circles under your eyes, you get the deep wrinkles, your hair will become dry, your skin will become dry. The excessive production of free radicals is what also overworks our adrenal system and is a precursor to adrenal fatigue, Epstein Barr, and Addison's disease, relatively speaking. So I want to ask you a question. When you hear somebody say that fruits and vegetables are high in antioxidants, do you even know what an oxidant is? For the sake of this video, this is where we come up with this kind of where not so much come up with, but rather integrate the idea that as your body is elevating its metabolic output, it's creating more and more free radicals, and it's creating more and more oxidative stress. The oxidation, the conversion of stored sugar into energy. So think about it. Why would you want to eat fruits and vegetables? Because they're high in antioxidants. Where does oxidative stress come from? High heart rate. So if the body is not getting enough fruits and vegetables, and the body is exposed to a tremendous amount of high intensity training, the end result is adrenal fatigue, Epstein Barr, dark circles under your eyes, premature aging, sexual dysfunction. That's why I always say that anaerobic training is not as healthy as aerobic training. Now, at the time of this recording, I've been a physiologist for 39 years. The idea here is I understand there's a time and a place that you've got to push that upper echelon of intensity, trying to improve your lactate tolerance, your anaerobic threshold. If you want to learn to get better at something biomechanically, do it quicker. I mean, there's all kinds of little things that I can throw into why and when would you want to use high intensity training. But the ideology that training at a high intensity frequently for an extended period of time is healthier than aerobic couldn't be anything further from the truth. Now, with an ironic twist to this entire conversation, the number one physical limiter when it comes to athletic performance is aerobic capacity. Your ability to deliver oxygen is the foundation of not only just life, but the more you can deliver oxygen to the working muscles, the faster you can go and the longer you can sustain it. So that's where I wanted to just kind of put together a brief conversation, Cliff Note version of our phone consultation of a couple hours. We're not just making flippant comments, hey, aerobic fitness, aerobic enhancement, aerobic training is just healthier than anaerobic without having any kind of merit behind it. So I wanted to make sure that we took the time to clarify that. Like I said, when it comes to building a portfolio of workouts for athletes, yes, the body does need to be exposed to stress, but notice I use the word stress, not intensity. Intensity can only and should only be incorporated rather when the body is proven to be rested enough to be able to take on that type of stress associated with increased speed, high heart rate. This is a precursor to a lot of physical injuries and a suppressed immune system, which then leads to illness. So ask yourself that question. When was the last time you got sick? When was the last time you got injured? That gives you a little bit of indication of how your immune system is. How hard are the tendons and ligaments and muscles working to sustain those high intensity efforts? And are you getting enough sleep and food to actually recover from the workload that you're doing? So I will say, as a generic percentage, my clients do 65 to 70% of their training aerobic, and the other 25 to 30% is going to be based on their ability to absorb the volume of training before we start looking at adding intensity. I hope that's clarified what I mean by aerobic capacity. Aerobic fitness is way healthier than anaerobic fitness, anaerobic training. However, if I ever create more questions and answers, then I would like you to reach out to me and my team. You can send us an email and we'd be happy to get back to you as quickly as possible. contact@coachrobb.com is the best email to please reach out to us. I'll make sure that I get back to you, answer your questions. We'll probably convert it into a video here. Speaking of videos, we put a new one out each day here on YouTube, so please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. Until next time, thank you for your time here today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.